Eric gets drunk, starts a fight.
Hey,
That's entertaining.
Everybody gets drunk. That's Vegas. Everybody gets crazy drunk. And
as long as you're gambling, drinks are
as long as
free.
you're gambling, the drinks are free. So.
And there's places where you can enter and just sit down, and because you're sitting down at a place, you're gambling. It's something like a seat raffle.
Oh.
So, like, literally you just sit down, and then, like, a waitress will come and get your drink order. Yeah. It's like $5 at the door, and all you can drink, and all you do is sit in a chair.
Get fucking bombed.
Yep.
Why don't you just play the nickel slots?
What if you fall asleep across like 5 chairs? Can you claim all the chairs?
You just sleep across a row chair, chip off $25. Yeah, you just pay
That
for
seems
5
logical.
chairs.
I'm just saying.
If it's a seat raffle and you want to take a nap,
Right.
buy 5 chairs.
Pro tip for Vegas.
That's great.
Want to ring the bell?
I'm taking it back. I'm taking them all back.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. I'm a loner, Daddy. Rebel. I am the walrus.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to John Hates Movies, the movie review podcast, where my friends stop me from driving my car straight at my fiancée and her baby, and instead force me to watch movies. This week we have with us Eric Largent.
Tally-ho.
We have Chris Arsenault.
It's not that I am no longer communicating. It's just you can no longer understand me.
And we have James Barrup.
Can I just say, he has your very eyes.
Oh, goodness. You may notice today that we do not have our normal guest member, Colin McMillan.
A normal guest
He's
member.
a guest member.
Yeah, he's still a guest member.
Unofficial guest member.
He's still on. He's still on
Unofficial special
super
guest.
super secret probation.
Yeah, why is Colin gone, John?
I'll tell you why, Eric. It is either A, he's sick, B, he no longer likes us, or C,
He was arrested for having sex with a prostitute.
or D, he threw his back out while having sex with
Hey, I kept that fairly clean. I could have said transgender, male prostitute, underage.
Robot prostitute.
Yeah, listeners,
Robotoot.
today on our secret Facebook page, Colin informed us that he would not be attending the recording of the podcast tonight because he threw his back out.
And we all pretty much agreed that it was probably sex related.
It's definitely because Colin cannot do sex right.
He needs Tracy Morgan to teach him.
Oh, Colin. Well, he'll be back. He'll be back someday.
Take that, Colin's libido.
That girlfriend was mad.
That's right. If you don't show up, you get lambasted.
John knows about this. Ask him about a burrito.
I do.
Ask me about my burrito.
Ask me about Jimmy Buffett's cheeseburger in paradise.
Yeah, John, I can't believe you texted. I can't believe you were texting Millie pictures of cheeseburgers while she was arrested.
That was never a thing. That was never
she wasn't
real.
arrested. She was detained.
No. And I'm afraid that is also completely an untrue story that my brother made up. And the reason that you can tell that my brother made it up is because it's 8 hours long and it has no point.
And it's about food.
Yeah, all these things.
It's just like sex with Colin.
It's 8 hours long. It has no point. It's about food.
almost a compliment.
Right near the end, when it's about to have a point, he throws his back out.
So he threw his back out like reaching for like a hot dog or something.
No, it's like on Seinfeld where George was bringing pastrami into the
You've got your wires crossed, Caligula.
Well, about the movie that we watched,
Right.
that would be... so are we saying Automata or is
Automata.
it Automata?
Automata.
Okay.
Because it's plural for automaton.
Okay. So in a dystopian future, an insurance adjuster for a tech company investigates a robot killed for violating protocol and discovers a global conspiracy. Starring Antonio Banderas, Dylan McDermott, Melanie Griffith, and Gabe. It is directed by Gabe Ibanez. Now, I want to preface this before we actually get started by saying that this movie is probably, with the exception of movies where we know it's going to be low rated, like Sharknado, this movie got a lot of hate.
Yes, it did.
When it came out. A lot of hate. And it still has a very low Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yes, it does.
It's like 2 stars on Automaton.
Wow.
So,
yes.
do we think it deserves it? Who wants to go? Well, actually, it was Chris's pick. So, Chris, why don't you lead us
It
off?
was the listener pick,
Yeah, it was
too.
Ben Failer's pick, and
whatever.
I wonder if he had seen it. I wonder what his thoughts.
I often wonder if people watch the movies before they suggest them to us.
I
Just
would
go
be
on Rotten
surprised.
Tomatoes and find the worst one.
Here's
Like, has Tabby really ever seen Big Trouble in Little China? Who knows?
Nobody's seen that movie. Come on.
I'm pretty sure Jeff Winokur watches Danger in the Manger at least 4 times a day. Right? I mean, he would
And
have
Zombieverse.
to. Right. He follows one right up after the other.
and Troy
It's your design.
and Troy falls asleep to Toxic Avenger every night.
Well, that actually I would buy. So who wants to lead us off?
I'll totally do it.
Yep.
Alrighty.
So, all right.
Automaton, ladies and gentlemen.
You're welcome. Good night. Okay. So I watched the movie before, or like maybe a week or so before I chose it. Because I just happened to watch it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll suggest this. I'll see what the other guys think. Probably a bad idea because you guys are all hateful bastards, but that's okay. Here's to the point. I chose it because I actually did enjoy the movie. I liked the movie. I'll give it that there were some flaws. I'm not going to go into that totally because they seem a lot less invasive than, well, so many other films that we've watched that are usually why I have trouble with movies. But anyway, I actually was rewatching this movie today because there were a couple things that bothered me about the movie that I was just unsure of. Like I wasn't quite. This world is like it's a very dystopian future,
Yes.
but we have this high level of technology in these pilgrims, these robots, and it's so weird because all of the other technology is like futurism speculated from the 70s.
Yeah.
Well, like they talk about how technology is regressing. Like they bring that up a few times in the movie.
They do a couple times, but that's the thing. Like his primary communication is a pager, like a texting pager, and essentially a teletype. Fax machine that is a dot matrix printer because it's an impact printer. I'm sorry, that's an impact printer.
Yes.
with a tractor feed paper.
Yeah, it was making that noise.
I totally wanted. I totally want to dictate to a giant tractor-fed impact printer that probably wouldn't be able to discern what I'm speaking because they're so fucking loud.
So it's just typing out its own noise.
It just cycles forever and ever. But because of that, that kind of thing, it has this. So it gives a kind of that taste of Blade Runner,
Yeah.
Well, that and the subject matter in general about, what's the reality of, a robot or clone or something. How can we distinguish if it's real, alive, and deserves to live kind of thing? What value can we put on it?
Mm-hmm.
Also, you have a level of Armitage and iRobot. Armitage, again, you have the robot. Are they real? Do they have souls? iRobot kind of thing. Are they real? Do they have souls? And can we control them?
Yeah.
Can they wink at us?
Can they wink at us? Well, either I'm getting lucky or it's trying to tell me something. And to an extent, like I said, with the technology, it almost kind of felt like someone wrote the script in the late 70s, early 80s with this futuristic perspective with really, really heavy detailing and all the technology. And then someone updated only the robots. But going back to it, the story takes place in 2044. And it's after a
solar flare outbreak.
Yeah, a natural cataclysmic event where I had to look up it because all the text in the beginning of the movie is so dense. I didn't really pay attention to it, to be honest with you. The first time I didn't pay attention. The second time Netflix was doing the buffering where it's it was literally 2 pixels a tree. That's why I went to Wikipedia. Because it's really small. It really is. It's there's way too much information.
You know what? I guess that is a hazard streaming movies, because the beginning is going to be buffering and lower quality.
Exactly.
If there's text at the beginning, it could just be illegible.
Yeah. So I went on to Wikipedia and pretty much got the quick rundown on the background just to be sure on that because I wasn't positive, and that's part of why I ended up rewatching it. Here's the thing. 99% of the population is dead.
Yeah, 99.7.
I didn't realize it was that. I just thought, okay, we're in this heavy digression of society. But then after doing that and kind of revisiting the movie, I realized, okay. So from the first viewing, I'm we have humanity in this decline, we're really just stagnant on the edge of non-existence, and the robots are hitting this point where they're yeah, we're gonna keep living. That's essentially what the entire movie is about. Robots trying to figure out how to keep living and going on after human civilization goes extinct.
Yeah.
And this insurance adjuster, played by the far too sexy Antonio Banderas, probably the most likable insurance adjuster I've ever seen as a character.
Was he likable?
Well, I mean, this is the least likable I've ever seen Antonio Banderas.
But most likable insurance adjuster.
Touche.
The nicest Nazi.
Exactly. So okay, that's really what the story's about, and it just has this. It's really drawn out because it's this journey of these robots trying to make it to their, essentially their mecca to create their own origin story.
Yep.
And it's so weird because the first half of the movie you're introduced to all these characters in this dismal society that is barely functioning and has really, like I said, such bizarrely contrasting levels of technology. You have these robots, and then you have this at-home sonogram, but a hollow imaging that literally is built or has the quality as if it was built out of technology that is 75 years old to it.
Yeah. Chris, I want to break in for a second because you called it they were going toward their Mecca, which is actually a really good choice of words because they were doing a pilgrimage through the desert to find their creator.
They were pilgrims.
Yeah,
you think that was an accident?
I guess not.
Honestly, I didn't catch that till my second viewing.
Okay.
That the robots were called pilgrims.
No, I didn't know that either.
I didn't. So I mean, it's really interesting, and I guess the fight of humans unwilling to accept that they will not be the ever dominant species on the planet.
Yeah.
And what do we do when we see something that we think perceive as a threat, even if it's not a direct threat to us?
Kill it.
We try to extinguish it.
Absolutely.
And since we created the robots, we refused to believe that they were becoming more than what we allowed them to be, and therefore they were a threat.
That's why I kicked...
But we didn't really create the robots, did we?
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
We created the first one, and then
No. We created the first one. The limitations were created by the first robot.
Right.
And that is key, I think, to the rest of this, because I was talking with Eric before pod that he's like, what really, what, who was responsible? I'm like,
did I ask what the point was? Because that's what I was feeling. What's the fucking point here?
Right, and it's but who was responsible? Who was really behind this? And I think it really was that original unlimited superhuman bio. What the hell they call it? Their bio
Matrix?
No,
Cortex.
Yeah, because it
The
was
biokernel.
Biokernel.
Yeah.
That unlimited biokernel that they use to set the limits for the future robots. I feel like when it wrote that, it understood what its situation was and like built in like an expiration date and like
that would make sense.
Put it in like I don't know, maybe time, but probably more likely. Like, okay, when humanity hits this level of decline, leave.
Get the fuck out.
I mean, it's like just a hidden string of code that's just said activate now and start our own Robotopia.
Yeah.
In the desert.
Well,
they don't. They're robots.
Well, desert don't mean shit to a
right.
robot,
I'm just saying, robots doesn't matter. Nuclear charged deserts, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just saying. Actually, it's all the better because it's going to keep the humies out.
Yeah.
The humies.
But that said, it was flesh bags.
Meat bag.
Yeah, I liked the movie. It was very interesting. I thought they did a really good job. I think it didn't. I mean, there's a real opportunity to try to be very pompous with what they were trying to do, and I don't think they went there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's one man's opinion, and this man is the one man who has an opinion that needs to be listened to. With that, I enjoyed the movie. I think that it was far better than the reviews were giving it credit for. I didn't read any of I really didn't read reviews per se on it. I just seen the ratings. I should say the ratings it was getting. So I mean, I guess I don't understand the level of flack it was receiving, but people are people. And they can be wrong.
Well, I can get into that.
Yeah, I already said you can be wrong, so it's cool.
Yeah, they're...
Oh, no. I mean, I can get into what the reviews are about, because this is one of the few times where I typically don't read other people's reviews about the movies, either before or after, because I don't want it to skew
your own,
what I would end up saying about the movie. But in this case, I did, because I wanted to see if I could figure out what was up. And I figured out what was up. So, who is next?
I would say the key to this movie is watching it twice for full understanding.
I don't think I would be able to.
Just for full understanding. Anyway,
you want to go?
No, you go. You go.
Okay, your call.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wrote some notes.
Yeah. Notes.
They're not necessarily don't get your expectations high. Just because Antonio Banderas is in a movie doesn't make it good. Just because I write notes don't make them funny. Oh shit! But I don't remember a lot of these because you know how I do when I write notes.
That's right.
First note: sitting down to watch Automata, not sure what to expect. Just checked Wikipedia. Apparently, Antonio Banderas and Melanie Griffith got divorced shortly after filming this movie. This changes everything. Now I am viewing this movie purely from the perspective of what happened. Okay, so first non-Banderas note. Okay, obviously borrowing heavy... Okay, obviously borrowing heavily from Asimov right off the bat.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
Not,
good source material is good source material.
Right, that's not necessarily a bad thing that
However,
this was straight
even
jacked
Will
from Asimov.
Smith can ruin good source material.
Oh. See, I liked iRobot and I didn't like this.
Well, that's because I'm going to leave you with that thought.
Okay. And I'm going to counter with this.
Yeah.
Dylan McDermott or like Dylan McDick.
I disagree. Except that, like, when I first saw him, I thought he was, what's his face? The other guy.
John Hamm? Maybe?
No.
Clive Owen?
Oh,
No.
yeah, Clive.
Damn it.
So
I had
next
his
note.
name like a second ago.
Next note. Okay, so I've seen iRobot. That had Will Smith in it. It was pretty good.
Mhm.
Really, at this point, what more can this movie offer? Okay, like other than it being a post-apocalyptic version of iRobot,
Yeah.
like what else was really going on here?
Bradley Cooper. I kept thinking it was
Bradley Cooper?
Dude, with the beard and shit, he totally
guess.
looks like
Maybe-
Bradley Cooper.
Maybe when Bradley
Especially-
Cooper does his hair slick back like that.
Yeah.
Taking McDerp shit.
Taking McDerp shit?
Yeah.
So much for the practice. Most implausible thing yet about this movie, not the robots or the holograms, but that boxing will still be relevant in 30 years.
Hey! Boxing will always
Yes.
It won't.
What is more relevant than two big guys punching each other?
Now he's
Ask
relevant.
Floyd Mayweather.
But like they had, seriously, he was riding like the train or whatever, and there was a hologram of a boxing match happening in the city square, which is pointless. Who cares?
Boxing is my sport.
Yeah, and he keeps the other guy away and just hits him with jabs and wins by points.
Yeah, yeah.
And nobody,
It's riveting.
Yep, amazing.
You in general don't care for boxing, do you?
No, I do like boxing, but boxing hasn't been relevant in 30 years.
So you're saying that
Or
it won't
since
be
Mike
relevant?
Tyson.
Well, here's maybe entertainment has declined just like the technology. Huzzah!
Okay, all right. Thank
I
you.
don't know. I think at that point they'd go straight to gladiator matches.
Or baseball.
Oh, buddy, you're walking on sacred ground. I don't care about baseball, but somebody here does.
Next note. Next note. Just waiting for one of these robots to wink at somebody. Next note. Okay, so Robot 206 is the new Titch Kang Duke.
What?
What?
That's I'm
I don't
not
get
even
that
going to
one.
explain it. That'll be a deep cut, maybe that one of our listeners gets.
Yeah, any reference, whoever gets it, awesome.
Well, no, okay, I'm going to explain it. That's the Titch Kang Duke is the Buddhist monk that lit himself on fire
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It's
right,
the
the one on the...
on the Rage Against the Machine album.
Damn it, I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
I didn't want to... Like, that joke was funny to me, but I'm like, this is such a terrible joke. I'm
Oh,
remembering
right,
it
it's
for
that
him.
guy from Rage Against the Machine.
Oh God! His entire life has been reduced.
That's the
It's so
worst.
horribly reduced. Oh, a very powerful political statement. Oh, that guy from Rage Against the Machine? Yeah,
That's like the most disrespectful thing this podcast has ever done.
I know.
Hey, I'm not the one that put it on
No,
an album
blame
cover
society
and then
for that
sold
one.
it.
Blame society for that one.
Killing in the name of. Okay.
Fuck you, won't do what you tell me. Anywho, go ahead.
Next note. First clue to the great Griffith Banderas breakup.
They're both drinking.
He knocked up a hotter, younger woman. Big trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Big trouble. 35 minutes in, still no Melly G. Not a good sign. Melly G, I think, is how I'm going to refer to Melanie Griffith from here on out.
Sounds
Well, you'll probably only have to do it just this
Right.
one time.
Next note. Hey, Shotgun Melly. Because she showed up at the door with a shotgun.
You don't?
No. Next note, hey, Shotgun Melly sounds like she's reading her lines off a cue card in monotone.
She did.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's funny. When she started talking, she totally did. And then, like, she got up and started moving around, and it felt a little bit better. But, yeah, she's not a good actress.
No.
She never was, though.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Next note, dot matrix printers, pagers, and fax machines. They ain't kidding around about technological regression. Next note, oh no, Tony B is absconding with the boner bot. That's
Boner bot.
I mean,
Bone her bot.
the next one is making fun of Antonio Banderas for crying in the middle of the desert when he found dead Dylan's chocolate. That was a little silly.
That was a little silly.
And for some reason, before I do my next and final note, why the fuck did they create that little abomination? Like, what the fuck was that? That thing looked like a fucking nightmare.
The future of robots.
What? That was the future of robots?
Why not?
That fucking little abomination?
Why not?
That thing looks like a nightmare.
Well, not
Nightmares look like.
Not to a robot.
It does, but yes, not to a robot. I thought the same thing. I'm like, that is creepy as fuck. But it's also, for the terrain and for what they're trying, living out in a desert, that's probably one of the
Might
best
be the
things
most
you can
functional and versatile
Right.
tool.
Why
Body.
did it
do.
need
2 legs
spikes,
and 2
though?
arms that move fucking slow as shit. Defense. People were trying to shoot that fucker.
So it's got spikes to stop the bullets.
Right. Haven't you ever watched BattleBots? When you shoot at them?
My lady friend that I was watching the movie with found the little thing, like, extremely cute. I have no idea why.
Because it has her
Bitches
very
love
eyes.
BattleBots.
Chris, you watch Backyard BattleBots. They're bringing fucking shotguns.
I'm the owner of Backyard BattleBots.
I'm not just the contender. I'm the owner. Hey, Scooter, get the shotgun.
So at some point, I came up with the stupid idea in my head that little bot was called the cerebral cortex for some reason. I have no idea why. I'm just like bouncing bullshit off walls. So then my last note was just cerebral cortex, more like cerebral vortex, because because I found this movie boring. I did. I didn't like it. I thought so Chris was speculating as to the mindset of the writer when he began writing this movie.
I speculate to the time it was written.
Right, but so he wrote it with all that technology and it didn't get updated. Sure. Well, I think
it was a joke, but
I know. But I think the writer wrote it in 2013 or 14 immediately after reading a few Isaac Asimov books and was like, these are cool. I could do one. Maybe I'll change it just enough maybe to not get sued. But if I were Isaac Asimov, I would get litigious because this is not an original story. It's just not. Like
most stories aren't.
I understand. Hercules and Jesus and Zeus, and they're all the same story.
I thought you were going to say they're all the same.
Yeah, they're all the story of Superman.
Yes, Superman too. Superman's the same thing. Everybody's
no. Jesus and Hercules, they're totally based on Superman.
Okay.
I'm surprised you didn't know that.
I didn't. But
Side note: the loser BattleBots are sacrificed to pounds and pounds of thermite.
Okay.
Get the bird barrel out. This one done lost.
Chris's BattleBot is a Roomba with a fucking handgun taped to it.
A grenade.
Hey! It's country rules.
Chris's BattleBot's a Roomba with a grenade.
Yeah,
but
it's
it just
called
blows
Boomba.
itself up.
It's called Boomba.
All right, so I don't Boomba. For fuck's sake, we're getting bad. We're bad this episode.
You guys brought up a grenade.
So speaking of grenades, this movie wasn't very good.
But you pulled the pin on it and threw it away?
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand why Antonio Banderas and Melanie Griffith didn't make it past this movie because
I wouldn't blame the movie, but okay.
I'm blaming the movie.
Okay.
This movie is responsible for a couple of America's sweethearts, even though Antonio maybe isn't from America. That doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
I was actually going to take issue with the sweethearts or America's sweethearts less than where they actually came from. Like, when have the two of them as a couple been relevant ever? I actually didn't know they were married until you said they were divorced.
No, man, they used to, like, there was a thing when they got together. Melanie Griffith was still relevant when they got together.
Oh.
She's not anymore.
Yeah.
That's the sad part of the story. So
she's the sad part of the story.
Yeah.
Did you see her face?
Oh, James.
Oh, I didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do that.
When you're 900 years, you should look so good. I feel bad for that one, actually.
All right, so hold for editing.
I didn't say that.
So yeah, and at the end of the movie, like, it made very little sense to me. The robots started themselves.
The robots won.
And they won, and Antonio Banderas
lost.
Is driving out toward the ocean just to whatever.
He's gonna be
just to be a human in the ocean.
To shit in a hole in the beach,
right?
Like he did when he was a kid.
He's gonna bro out with the ocean. It's gonna be his brocean.
Yes.
He's returning from whence he came, as all life.
So he will eventually become a fish.
Yeah, he's gonna reverse evolve, devolve. I think it's called.
We are Devo.
So yeah, that's my take. I didn't like it. If I want a better version of this story, there are no lack of sources to go find it. That's my take.
All right. Okay. So first, I want to say I think I know what you guys are talking about.
Right.
It's really weird that we would, so shortly after Age of Ultron, that we watch a thing where I need Chris's useless time machine again.
Time machine is not useless.
Well, I mean, the way we use it is.
Yes.
This is really, I mean, I thought that we were watching Netflix movies. This really stretches the definition.
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, all I saw were just people getting like food and drinks and stuff. There weren't any robots apart from like, the vending machines, I guess, those could be considered robots.
Automat? Really? Automat?
I watched 2 hours of an Automat. I wrote it down, guys. I wrote it down so I'd get it right. Automat A. That's what I put in the time machine. I went back there. All I saw was people. I mean, I had a turkey sandwich and an apple, and that was pretty good. But
tell me you at least got a key lime pie. Slice of key lime pie.
And, I mean, I didn't see anything the entire 2 hours of there. I guess I might have witnessed the start of Judy Garland's career. I mean, I might have witnessed the start of that. I don't know. She kind of looked like her, but after that, I just went home and yeah.
So wonderful.
Yeah.
Great movie review.
Yep. No, okay. So,
always.
Automat.
I miss the idea of an automat.
Me too.
What the fuck is an automat?
It's literally just like, okay, like a food court in a mall?
Yeah.
It's almost like that, or like a little kiosk somewhere that is just vending machines. It's like 7 or 8 vending machines that have like sandwiches and snacks and...
It's kind of like what the roadside... rest areas are.
Oh,
okay,
but better, much better, much cleaner. Yeah,
that's the concept.
Like picnic tables and stuff.
And somebody actually like comes in and cooks all that shit.
Oh,
and then they put them in those little glass windows, and then you just throw in your nickel, boy. Throw in your nickel, and you open
really
the glass sliding
nickel?
door, and you've got your nice key lime pie.
They all thought my money was fake. 2003? What the hell is this? All right, don't try to pawn your funny money off on me, boy. Bucko.
Give me a tab. I can't give you a tab until you order something.
All right, so
These are fresh jokes, guys.
Yep.
Fucking fresh.
as fresh as an automat.
Right.
And then I went to the drive-in.
Damn it, our humor has now digressed.
I know. It's devolved.
De-evolved.
Yeah.
Okay, so Automata. Yeah, all right. Well, where to even? Okay. All right, so first off, at the very beginning, I don't know, I could read the thing. You find out that, like, the sun fucked up, like, royally, like...
Yeah.
That's what suns do.
Just start firing off solar flares.
Yeah, like, it was like
That's
some
what
sort
sons
of...
do. They disappoint their fathers.
Oh.
Like, they're, like, a really bad habit. Like, they're like the idiot husband in a sitcom, like, just fucking everything up.
Yeah.
But they've got a good heart. Yeah, even though it fucks up majorly, it still gives us some nice exposition.
Oh, yes.
So the son tells us all about how it fucked up and and everything, and lets us know the setting for the movie. And this, right from the beginning, I started having issues. Solar flares. All right. Mm-hmm. Solar flares don't work that way.
Shut up. Don't science it.
They don't, though.
They don't. There is no fucking way solar flares would kill 99% of the population fucking anytime, anywhere.
Yep.
I'm going to kill you with a solar flare. Just to prove you're wrong.
Just like Dylan McDermott took a solar flare to the chest.
I don't think that's what happened.
You could kill me with a solar flare if we happened to get close enough for it to touch me. I would probably be dead by that point, but
Yes.
yeah, unless I'm in a Christopher Nolan movie, then magic
That's
would
lens
somehow
flares.
take
Lens
effect.
flares. Lens flares kill you in a Nolan.
In a
No,
J.J.
this
Abrams
is J.J.
movie.
Abrams movie.
All right, cut that.
All right. So anyway, no way a solar flare would kill you, even if the Earth's magnetic field was completely gone, which is like scheduled to happen pretty soon here. The Earth's magnetic field is supposed to actually.
The core has to stop. The core has to be solid.
I
It's
knew
not-
I
it's
had a
not gonna
problem
stop.
with
It's
fucking
going
Bill
to
Nye.
flip.
It's going to, but it's going to. We're going to
Yeah.
have about like 50 to 80 years of no magnetic field around the Earth.
Missy Elliott, put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Yep. See, first you have to put it down.
Okay.
And honestly, when that happens, yeah, we'll have the worst solar flares that we'll ever have. Like the solar flares that are already on the sun will start affecting Earth more. And what will happen is
It's really
our
starting to
electronics.
feel like magnets really are miracles.
Yeah. Our electronic communication, like wireless communication, will be more difficult to get across, and UV radiation will be higher. If you don't wear sunblock, you will probably if you don't wear sunblock when you leave the house during the daytime, you will get skin cancer. That's how bad it will be. But wear sunblock. You'll be okay. So
Brought to you by James.
yep. If I could give
definitely
one
a
piece of
scientist.
advice to this graduating class, it would be wear sunscreen. Anyway, shout out to 2000.
Right?
You're my homeboy. The year 2000. All right. Don't you remember that song?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oslerman.
Yeah. Anyway, look it up, kids. It's poetic. Yeah, the worst that Antonio Banderas has to worry about being in that desert for that long, when he was complaining about how the radiation's going to kill him.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is electromagnetic radiation. It's not fucking nuclear radiation.
Correct.
You wouldn't fucking pick it up with a Geiger counter.
Correct.
Maybe it's not a Geiger counter.
Oh, okay. All right. It just ticks like one and looks exactly
That's
like
how
one.
you know it's working, James.
Yeah,
This is a Geiger counter detector. It detects Geiger counters.
there's Geiger counters everywhere. Shit, they're all around us.
My God.
They're everywhere.
They're in the vents. All right.
In a world where Geiger counters go evil. One man walks out into the desert to stop them.
Oh, I forgot my sunscreen.
Geiger counters were responsible for Chernobyl.
Because they didn't read them correctly?
Why not?
Actually, no, seriously, the Geiger counters in the control never went over 10.
Ah, yes.
Because they were set only to go up to 10. and then Sweden alerted about the nuclear measurements they were getting.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that's what alerted to the world.
I've watched some stuff about that. That entire thing is like a series of extreme fuck ups.
Oh yeah,
any one of which that if they had caught any one, then the entire thing would have been safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. There were like 7 or 8 critical moments of choice, and they failed every one.
Oh yeah.
So speaking of moments of extreme fuck ups, James, your review.
Whoa!
I'm not even.
You said moments.
I have only begun to review. All right. Yep. So yeah, the worst that Antonio Banderas has to worry about. I have to get a car to get back to my wife.
She is pregnant.
Yep. He's not going to die in the desert. He'll die of skin cancer in 30 years. Oh God. Oh no.
Yeah, his biggest threat is probably just heat stroke.
Yeah, exactly.
And or dehydration.
Yeah, and having to eat bugs. Which, by the way, I mean,
No, that's the safest thing he did was eat those bugs.
well, I know I'm with you there.
Great source of protein.
Well, chocolate makes them cry, so apparently bugs are the way to go. I just feel like honestly, okay, so those robots can't harm anybody. Well, okay, they did give them the bugs alive. I guess if he said, "I cannot eat these, please cook these bugs for me," they would be like, "We cannot hurt any living organism."
No, they can't hurt people.
No, it was live. It was life.
Any living
It
organism.
was life.
Yeah, like they can't hurt trees.
Well, maybe that is.
I'm serious.
Robot versus tree.
There's just a static image, and then you see people walking past.
Robot versus tree.
In that scenario, they're both sacrificed to the thermite.
Fucking thermite.
Thermite is awesome, okay? All right. So it's this fucking director fucking loves Blade Runner.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I love Blade Runner too, but my God, this guy, he's like, I mean, he must like go home and watch it like every fucking day, and like have his girlfriend be like, oh, suck my dick. I want to come when fucking Rutger Hauer lets the bird go. Or like in the bathtub, throw the DVD player in when Rutger Hauer lets the bird go. When Rutger Hauer does a speech, throw the fucking DVD player in. I'm ready. Come on.
That speech was ad-libbed.
Did John just crack a beer?
Yeah.
I need to because this is going to take a while. I can just tell.
This is off the rails.
This is completely off the rails.
It's all getting replaced with Spanish Fly.
That's Spanish Flea.
Oh, sorry, Spanish Flea.
No!
Ask Bill Cosby about the other one.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, no!
So,
James going to HELL.
oh. Hello.
Go ahead, James.
I don't know.
Please.
I don't know if
Continue towards the end.
I don't know if Cosby jokes are good for business guys. Okay.
No. Pause for editing. Yeah, the guy loved fucking Blade Runner. There was so many Blade Runner like things, like the eggs boiling in a clear thing. I was like, geez, guy, come on, I get it. You fucking love Blade Runner. So much in this movie was heavy-handed, like ridiculously heavy-handed. There's a lot of symbolism and stuff. I feel like okay, so this guy, the art direction in it was amazing. the pace was way too slow. This guy, he had many kernels of good things to do, like good, like things. Like obviously, you know, like people, like Ridley Scott. Like when I watched this, I kept on thinking about Ridley Scott and Terry Gilliam. Like Terry Gilliam for Brazil, which inspired WALL-E, and Ridley Scott for Blade Runner. Of course, these people are like people who like climbed the Himalayas. You know, like they're like fucking
Sir Edmund Hillary.
Sir Edmund Hillary, yes. This
Tenzing
director
Norgay.
is like the guy in your office who shelled out like $5,000 to climb the Himalayas now,
Right, yes.
when they have like fucking, you know,
Sherpas and canned air.
Sherpas and welded aluminum ladders to take you up fucking
And
steep
he
cliff.
still takes a helicopter.
Yeah, and he's like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you got it right because you got a backpack full of pemmican, but at the same time, like, you have all this shit that the other guys didn't have, and you're acting like you fucking climbed the mountain yourself, you know? It's like, you know, honestly, this is like District Chappie, you know? But bad. I mean, if you want to fucking watch a movie like this, you'll watch
District
Chappie
9.
or District 9.
Yeah.
And okay, so other things that bother me about this movie. The fucking robot butt was distracting as fuck.
The robot.
It was.
Yes.
The robot. That was so badly designed, and it just, like, that whole pelvic region was just, like, weird.
It was really weird.
I mean, it's like, and the rest of her was like okay, kind of womanly shaped and stuff, but it's like that was like purposefully made to like weird you out.
And James, you're the canary in the mine shaft. When you find something weird, it's fucking weird.
Yeah. And the thing is when you walked in there and they had like the sex robot, I was like, okay, like I was like, oh god, sex robot, and then I'm like, wait, no, that would happen. This would be a thing, and then it was like, oh, why the fuck does her bottom half look so fucking weird? I don't like that. And then her eerie fucking moans and shit.
Yeah.
That was unsettling.
Yep.
But that was what it was.
Yeah, the things that
Thanks, Melanie Griffith.
she wasn't. Yeah, well, she designed it. Yeah. Good, great design there, buddy. If this were real life, is this real life? No.
Just a fantasy.
Yeah, the
Continental lands.
the
No.
the altering of the altering of the two what are they, protocols?
Not prime directives.
Yeah, the
but,
prime whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Those would happen day one from they're quantum locked, blah blah blah. No, fuck that. If anything has taught us anything in the past few years, hackers are crazy ingenious, and if they can't break them, they'll find logical loopholes to circumvent them or circumvent around it.
Yeah.
So from day
no one broke them.
huh?
No one broke them.
No one broke them. I know, I understand.
Well, right, but they would like
I'm saying if this was
Someone
real,
would
if this
totally
was in the
try,
real
yeah.
world,
they would have built their own OS that they plug.
oh
in.
yeah,
probably.
immediately,
Yeah.
fucking immediately.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
it would have been over, and you would have had all these
But
robots
it's not
fucking
a
with
matter
everybody
of,
else.
The operating system running. It was encoded into this the hardware itself.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
Yeah, it's like the fucking BIOS on the
Not
motherboard.
saying
it
that
doesn't
you can't
matter.
rewrite that, but I mean,
but no, my point being is that it doesn't fucking matter. They would have cracked it.
You can flash that
Possible.
BIOS.
And managed. They would have managed to find a logical, like, even with that robot. Okay, the sex robot herself, she could hurt a living being if it brought them sexual pleasure. That's a loophole. That's something you can exploit right from the get-go.
oh yeah,
So, like, they would. That's what I'm saying. They would have found some sort of way around it. You're laughing.
Because I got an image in my head of robot armies who, in order to fight humans, have to like grab their dicks first.
no, you like this? I'm dying.
But doesn't it feel good?
Yes.
Wait till Rutger Hauer lets the bird go.
Jesus God.
This one's off the rails, Johnny.
All right, James, can you bring us home sometime in the next
Now?
20?
Yeah, the action in this movie was incredibly lame. It's just hilarious that they even called it action when, like, the most action star thing Antonio Banderas did was drive a car into 3 people and then lamely fall out of it.
Yes.
That was fucking ridiculous. I wonder how they did the robot effects in this, honestly, because that was probably the most interesting thing, was that the robots looked like they were practical effects, apart from the cerebral vortex, whatever.
The cerebral vortex. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I liked that weirdo robot. I mean, granted, it was creepy as hell. Okay, honestly, and this will kind of bring me to my end here, is that the line, "He has your very eyes." Like, okay, what the fuck is it? Like, there are these foreign directors who, like, make American movies, or like indie movies or something, but for an American audience, because, you know, let's face it, that's where the money is. And they will get, like, weird things wrong. Just like little things, like, "He has your very eyes." I know that Antonio Banderas and the director are both Spanish, so that's probably like a language thing for them. However, like, nobody on set caught that and said, "Hey, you know, that's like," you will find this with bad foreign directors. They'll have English actors American actors say weird shit. And it's like the actor can't say, "Actually, I understand what you're saying here." To say it like normal in like an everyday thing, we would say this.
Yeah.
And instead of them being like, "Well, okay, say it that way," they're like, "No, you must stick to the script." Like, what the fuck? I don't fucking get the mentality. And honestly, it's like, this movie has all the makings of a good movie, but it's just fucking missing something. It's okay, and it's not great. It's really heavy-handed, and I think that's part of it. But I don't think it's the characters, because in District 9, which is one of my favorite movies, the main character of that is fucking cowardly.
Yep.
He's rude. He's selfish, completely self-centered, and he's frustrating as fuck to watch, but yet you root for his growth in that movie. And in this movie, Antonio Banderas is selfish and rude and stupid and not necessarily cowardly. He's not cowardly, but you know, he's like he's not a likable character, and it doesn't work. It, like, you don't care about him.
You're not supposed to root for him.
Yeah.
You're rooting for the robots.
Yeah, and honestly,
he represents the everyman that is just, no, seriously, think about it. Who is just going to be, "I don't believe this," but isn't so far gone that he wants to murder all of them. That was another McDermott's character.
That was another problem I had with this movie, was the incredulous skeptic. Like, the incredulous skeptic to the point where it doesn't fucking make sense for him to be skeptic anymore.
Right.
It's like, when you've seen this and that happen twice, it's time to say, okay, something fucking weird's going on here.
Yeah, but the skeptic would probably say something's broken, not, "Oh, they're alive."
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. He wouldn't admit they were broken. He would say, you'd be like, "Well, you know, obviously there is a clockmaker and something is wrong, but it's not,
because
he couldn't have done what he did. Even though I saw it twice, he couldn't have done it."
Well, he saw it once, but yes, at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, and the robots who actually could manipulate themselves, like the Jesus robot that they meet up with at the death thing, I feel like he would have altered himself better, because obviously he altered his legs and everything.
I agree.
He would have been like I feel like that was probably a limitation of the special effects. But at that point, you know, if you're going to go CG with the bug creature,
what do you think he would
CG.
have done?
I think he would have had better hands, because his hands were fucking toasters.
Yeah, they were pretty much just big claws, weren't they? Like pinchers or whatever.
Yeah, and his arms and legs would have moved faster.
That was something that was irritating. I feel like one of the first things I would do as a robot, I would,
Jetpack?
Well, I would improve my mobility.
Yeah. So, like, when the guy points a gun at your fucking head, you can fucking dodge.
Right.
Because you're a robot and you don't have, like,
They've
the limitations.
already established that they're capable of fast, intricate movement.
Yeah.
The opening, one of the early scenes where it caught the knife before it could fall on him.
Like I said, jetpack.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, like, if you want to watch this
Out
movie,
the ass.
you can watch District 9, you can watch Chappie, you can watch Wall-E, you can watch even, I would dare say iRobot, even though that's not that great. It's not as pretentious.
You can watch Blade Runner.
You can watch Blade Runner, which is fucking awesome.
Yep.
iRobot's a lot more fun than this movie.
Oh, yes. Yes. iRobot at least has pacing going for it.
Yeah.
So I feel like, honestly, this movie would have been much better if they just straight up made it a Matrix prequel. Like, far Matrix prequel.
Ooh.
Like, just have the Wachowskis do it and actually punch it up a little bit, make it a little faster. And honestly, I would love to see a movie like this that starts off like Isaac Asimov. Do robots have souls? Oh, I kind of love this robot. And honestly, I have to say that's another good thing. One of the good things about this movie is that the robots were alien. Like, and honestly, I feel like if robot intelligence were to emerge, it wouldn't immediately be the lovable, recognizable thing that we get in Wall-E and stuff. It would be this weird kind of thing we can't relate to.
Yes.
But in this movie, it kind of did half and half, and so I was like, man, should I like that? I don't know if I like this robot. However, I would like to see a movie where it's like, oh, this robot has a soul, and we should really help it, and blah, 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 and help a robot establish its own country, and then the robots just flip and kill all the humans.
That's the Matrix, right?
Kind of, yeah. But, because those are the only two robot stories you have. You either have Terminator, or you have, Wall-E. So,
Okay. I can... Is that it, Jen? So you wrapped up?
That's it. Yep.
So, I'll tie us up here. I think pretty much we've gotten all the views in regards to what this movie is. So there won't be too much for me to elaborate on. I actually think that Chris is partially right. I think there is 1/3 of a really good movie here.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris is 1/3
But
right.
No, I'm all right. Still 1/3 of a movie or something. I'm just going with I'm right.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that the stuff with the robot is kind of the robots is kind of interesting, and it's probably fascinating, and I think it probably could have carried itself.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like the Booga Booga bad guys.
Yeah.
They were like
ridiculous.
way the fuck over the top ridiculous and like literally. Do you guys remember when Aqua Teen Hunger Force first came out, and they started every segment with those two scientists?
Give it life. Yes.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, no one escaped. It's like, or like when Metalocalypse first came out, and they used to have like that council.
Yeah.
Like, what do we do? And it's like, we wait. I honestly felt like that was what was happening every time they flashed to the corporate stuff. I was like, who the fuck are these guys, and why do we even care? The stupid corrupt cops I didn't give a shit about, and I really didn't care about his wife or his home life at all.
I didn't either.
I think you could have dropped all that junk.
Just started
and then you could have had
having
a fairly
the robots drag
decent
him
movie.
through the desert and extrapolate from there.
And
I actually would like that.
And then if you instead of a big stupid I'm corporate evil, you could just straight up like send a nameless military mercenary faction after them. It would have served the same purpose.
Mm-hmm. Or even not, and
Now,
just
I
watch
mean-
the robots fucking start a life. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, or even But I did read a lot of the reviews because I was a little confused. Because my progression for the movie was this. The first 10 minutes, I was like enraptured. I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. Shortly after that, when the movie actually started, like, I guess manifesting the fact that it really wasn't ever going to go anywhere and that all the extra characters were kind of lame, I was like, oh, this is terrible. So it was like this roller coaster for me where I had my big hill real fast. The rest of it was a downward line. And then at the very end, there was a little bump. and then it went back.
But did
down
you have the
again.
bump when you saw the little cerebral vortex?
No, the cerebral vortex. I was with you. I was like, why did they make it bug?
Bugs are really functional. That's all I got to say.
Well, yes, bugs are really functional, but crabs are more functional, and spiders are more functional. So, I mean, I was a little, but I guess the little bump at the end was just the fact that it was more robots than it was conversations with wife and, you know, crazy corporate evil bad guy.
I thought you were going to say the little bump
So,
at the end was because it was over.
Yeah, me too.
Well, there was that too. So, I mean, you know, it's not a great movie. It's not a terrible movie, though.
What were the reviews saying about it?
The reviews were saying that basically what you've got is somebody who took somebody else's interesting concept and then took a whole bunch of other people's art direction.
Yeah.
And then stole a bunch of other people's cinematography and plot devices and basically tried to shove them all together and got crap. And that's basically the gist.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
And that's kind of, I kind of got to say, I think that's kind of true. The only caveat that I would go with is that while for all intents and purposes, there's nothing really distinguishing this from iRobot, District 9, or Blade Runner. I mean, I'd say Blade Runner most specifically because, you know, the Reploids and the robots from this have the same kind of arc. They were created for a purpose, and now they're not needed for that purpose anymore, so nobody quite knows what to do with them except hunt them down and pull them in. I think that this movie could have been way better.
Yeah.
It could have been way better if it focused on they went out to the desert to create new life, and they've got this human with them by accident of circumstance who they can't let... I mean, I think the most fascinating thing about this movie is that they never overwrote Protocol 1.
Yeah.
What was Protocol 1?
Don't hurt any life.
You can't kill. Don't hurt any life. And see, for me, that was the most fascinating thing because the super robot with no limitations, even he was protective of life, and he couldn't kill any human. You know?
Well, I don't think the Jesus robot in the desert was the same thing.
The Jesus robot in the desert did not have the ability to kill humans. The only one that had the ability to kill humans was Cerebral Vortex.
I love that became its official name.
Yep.
The Vortex.
So only Vortex can kill humans.
Yeah, I guess he did.
And I
he
found
did
that-
kind of not indirectly become the cause of the death of one person.
Yeah, didn't he like push somebody over a cliff or something?
Yeah, he jumped on him. And
Basically,
that made
yeah.
him fall. They just happened to be
See,
standing next to a cliff.
He didn't kill them. Gravity killed them.
Yeah.
Nature's
And truth
the,
is, he didn't even die because he was able to grab onto the rebars.
nature's the real threat.
The thing that killed him was letting go,
Yeah.
and he just let
So
go.
he
That was
commits
stupid.
Suicide, really. I mean, that's nothing on the robots.
These robots can alter themselves, but they can't alter a fucking what the fuck is that? Like a crane? Like they can't alter a crane so it actually zips across the canyon pretty fast? Like that thing was going slower than fucking snails.
Dramatic tension, James.
Dramatic.
So-
oh my god, shot in the fella. It was like B. Oh, here's a gun. Fall over now. Thud. Thud. Thud.
So yeah, honestly, not a super great movie. I think that you can find something interesting out of this, but I don't even think if you're like the crunchiest, hardest of sci-fi fans, where this movie is really worth it seeking out. I think if you happen to stumble across it when you literally have nothing else to do, it might be.
If you're a really big
watch.
Melanie Griffith fan and want to relive the late 80s.
If you liked Blade Runner but you thought it was just too good.
Yes. Okay, well, we're going to take a short break, and we are going to be right back with the game.
Right.
I feel like you guys would have related better to this movie, since you're all a bunch of cold, heartless bastards.
Well, see, the robots had heart.
Yeah, the robots have feelings.
Take a break.
Hi, this is John from John Hates Movies. Usually, this is where you'd hear one of our commercials. We originally set aside this time to make room for eventual advertising space. And we've decided that it's time to open that advertisement space up. So for a limited time, we're going to open this advertisement space up to you, the listener. How much is it, do you ask? Well, it's absolutely free. That's right, for the cost of $0, you can have hundreds of John Hates Movies listeners listen to your message. How do you participate? All you have to do is either send us a script at our Facebook page, or you can record your own audio and send us a Dropbox link. We'll review all selections, and the ones that we like the most will show up in this spot on John Hates Movies. Submit your advertisements today. And we're back. We just want to remind you that we're still looking for perplexing ponderances, so feel free to post them on the Facebook page, and we'll be more than happy to answer your perplexing ponderances as they come. So, since we don't have one, we're going to launch right into the game. Chris.
Okay. So, I decided that I'll ask you guys all a series of questions. To determine if you are human.
Oh. I'm Ruger Hauer.
I'm actually very excited about
I'm
this.
not the Ruger Hauer, the replicant. I'm Ruger Hauer.
Okay. So, here's the game.
Okay.
Are you a robot?
No.
Negative.
No.
If you were at a party and everyone was drunk, what movie would you watch?
Babadook.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Ooh, good choice.
Remember, if I'm funnier than you guys are, Colin wins the game.
Oh,
So
shit.
think about that.
The Netflix calibration movie to make sure that all videos and audio settings are optimal.
Okay, that's... Okay, nice.
James just got a point.
You're walking through the forest and come across a bird. It has an injured wing. How do you proceed? Remember, there are technically no wrong answers.
Oh, well, then I wizard it back to hell.
Okay?
See, I'm
Wizard!
I'm only thinking of like play it straight answers, which are probably not going to win the game, but I want to win the game.
Remember, when it comes to John Hates Movies games, you're not playing to win the game. You're playing to win the heart.
Okay,
The Game Master.
well then I'll tell you a true story, Chris.
Okay.
Because earlier this week I was editing the latest episode of John Hates Movies.
Okay.
Sitting at my desk in my living room when a bird hit my window, like a thing hit my window, and I heard flap flap flap, and I was like, oh shit, that's a bird.
Mm-hmm.
But
It was a potato with wings.
no, it was.
Seems more likely.
So I was like when I was sitting there, I was like, okay, well, either this bird is okay and it flew away, or it's dead. But either way, me getting up isn't going to help anything. So I finished editing the podcast, and I went over, and it had gotten dark out, and I looked out, and the bird is sitting up. It's just kind of sitting there, but it's just chilling on my balcony. And I went down and I talked to it. I was like, hey, buddy, I hope you're okay, but. If, once I'm going to just leave you here, but, let's hope you can fly away. And then it started raining, and the little guy kind of like scurried under the chair that I have on my balcony. Uh-huh. And then I played some Minecraft, and I went back and I checked on him, and he was still there. And then I was like, okay, buddy, I have to go to sleep, and I'm going to go to bed. And I went to sleep. I woke up the next morning, and he was gone. So what I would do to the bird in the forest is I would give him. I would put
verbal encouragement.
I would do some verbal encouragement. I would put him under shelter, and then I would leave him be.
Not a bad plan, so that he can get eaten.
No,
by a wayward potato.
So one for a wizard, one for verbal encouragement, and
Shelter.
Shelter.
Yeah,
James.
I would build a functioning jetpack from accessory parts, and I would teach the bird the physics of aerodynamics. Obviously, it is lacking in areas of that knowledge.
Okay. Pop quiz, hotshot. Someone's pointing a gun at you. Trick question. Someone's pointing a gun at someone else. What do you do?
Who's pointing the gun?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. The circumstance.
Am I Superman?
No.
Are you a wizard?
Am I Batman?
It's up to interpretation. I guess it's all your story, your answer.
Stop.
Okay.
You could cause injury. Stop. You could cause injury. Stop. You could cause injury or harm to another person. You must stop. We cannot allow you to injure another person. I'm sorry, what was the question?
You're fine, James. You're fine.
All right.
I would try to talk them down out of killing the other person.
I would use my sweet ninja moves in order to disarm them secretly in the night.
I thought you were gonna use your wizard power to turn it into a flower.
No! You have to be very specific about what you wizard and what you don't wizard.
Okay.
Other times, you have to ninja.
And at certain points, you have to werewolf.
Exactly! See, you get it.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Sit
catching
around
on.
and wait for it to become night. So that you can, even if it's 12 in the afternoon, or the noon, the exact noon.
The noon.
Nobody robs anybody during the noon.
Yeah, they're all
It
eating.
always happens at night. Like a thief in the night!
You're reading a magazine. You come across a full-page nude photo of a guy. You show it to your wife or girlfriend. She likes it so much, she hangs it up on the bedroom wall. The girl is lying on a bearskin rug. Or the man is lying on a bearskin rug. I suppose that is a totally different question if you flip those genders.
Is that the question?
How would you react?
If the man is Burt Reynolds, it's okay.
Oh, that's a good answer.
That is a good answer.
If the man is Wolf Cop, that's okay.
All right. Assuming that the man is neither Burt Reynolds nor Wolf Cop, that's definitely a werewolf situation. That's where you'd want to werewolf your girlfriend.
What does that mean?
If I have to tell
I'll
you,
accept all
then-
answers as stated.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
I mean, data! More data!
You meet your doppelganger. What do you do?
Hello, Unit R547. What are you doing out of the welding shop?
We probably would both just say some passive aggressive things to each other, then walk away.
That's probably what I would do too. Actually, I wouldn't even talk to them. I'd just glare at them. Quit stealing my identity, bro. Sorry, you guys are supposed to be answering the questions.
You kill it with fire.
There are technically no right answers, but when you meet your doppelganger, you're supposed to kill them. I'm just saying.
Oh.
I does. Hey, see, did I win?
Hold on, I'm not done asking questions.
Well, I obviously won the doppelganger round.
I obviously won the bird round, so meh.
Where is the appropriate range of diction for frog spawning?
Between the Q and the R?
I love Eric. Eric is just like, I think Eric is a robot. He is broken.
Input illogical. Input illogical.
Yeah, James isn't a robot. He's obviously playing a robot. It's one square block away is where you can spawn new frogs, but you can't spawn them in your own block.
Okay. What is James?
Oh God. James is my friend. But he's really genuinely one of the most unique individuals I've met in my entire life. James is the canary in the mine shaft for what we should all find weird. If James finds it weird, it's the weirdest fucking thing ever.
James, codenamed Cyberdyne Unit C304. Equipped with flamethrowers, laser eyeballs, infrared vision, nuclear smell, and legs.
To quote one of the most smart and wonderful human beings of all time, James is a bitch.
Who said that?
Chris Arson.
Oh, I got flattery.
It's my turn, damn it.
What is the point? Oh, is there a point to existence?
I mean, other than procreation, no.
I didn't really like that movie. I thought Christian Bale was not well cast in it. And it kind of was a Matrix ripoff.
Have you ever played a game with your second butthole?
Wow, okay.
That is the tagline for Existence.
Existence, yeah. Right.
Oh, God.
If you were a robot, what would your robot name be?
My robot name would be James.
Nice implications there, John.
James is the optimal name for all living creatures and unliving robotic units.
My robot name would be Vlarf Man Simulator.
Cerebral vortex.
That's John's name. John's robot name. Whoa! That's Colin's robot name. Hey, oh, Colin.
Disc Slipticus.
Dick Disc Slipticus. Because he slipped a disc using his... Yeah.
Dick drive read error.
As a robot, what do you dream about?
Electric baseball.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
I dream too, electric boogaloo.
What are dreams?
Really, James? Beep, boop, boop, boop. Hello, I'm phoning it in.
And fuck. There's a... Yep.
I'm sorry, your call.
I once dreamt about a nifty nuclear power unit that looked really nice and shiny and fit well in my gigantic fucking toaster of a hand.
Interesting. My final question. Am I a robot?
Nuclear smell indicators say no.
I'm going to say live the dream. The only thing stopping you is you.
You make you.
How easy is it to turn you on?
Not that easy.
Okay, then you're not a robot.
Well, I think I've established your humanity.
Oh.
Eric is quite obviously a robot.
Whoa!
John appears to be a human wizard. And James is a human idiot.
That's true. I was LARPing, brah. But I was kicked out of my LARP group. Apparently there are no robots in Game of Thrones. I don't watch it.
I gotta admit, okay, so like going through everything, like I enjoyed James' answers the most, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure how to score this, though.
Random hat. Pull it out of a hat.
Okay.
Yeah, just random had it.
Whose name is closest to T?
I mean, technically John,
James
because
and
the
John.
O.
Oh, John wins.
Hey!
I flipped to my own notes, randomly pointed at a page. It was a letter T.
Well, is the alphabet circular?
Shut up now.
Mr. J was going to be John.
Hey, it was random. I'm sorry that your name's not Tom or Tony.
What are the first?
Or
My middle name's Thomas.
well, they should have named you Thomas Eric, not Eric Thomas.
What are
So
the
congratulations,
first 5
John.
common
Thank you.
letters used in the English language? RSTLNE.
That's true.
Yep.
See?
You had a better chance than all of us.
Yeah. You could have been a winner.
John, we should watch a documentary because I know you want to do the Millie doc, right? Probably.
Bigger, stronger, faster. Yeah. This one's about the culture of bodybuilding and steroid use.
It's going to make you cry and want to work out. I'll take that challenge.
All right, we're gonna watch Bigger, Stronger, Faster because the Chris challenge.
I don't work out and I don't have feelings anymore.
In fact, fuck you. I ate 3 double cheeseburgers through the entire film. I made them stretch out. Just
And
so
the
you
buns
me.
were donuts.
And the mayonnaise was Bavarian cream.
All right, folks, you heard it here first. We are going to be watching Bigger, Stronger, Faster, the first ever John Hates Movies documentary.
It's not a documentary about John Hates Movies, which could be far more interesting.
Yes.
Also
And-
has the penis shrinkage.
Yep.
You can cut that out. It was a good joke. I wasn't going to let it not get said.
Hey, Chris, the ladies call me Ant-Man because I shrink fast and I underperformed last weekend.
Well, there you go. You heard
Although
it
I've
first.
heard good things about it. I haven't actually
Yeah.
seen it
You
myself.
mean Eric's dick?
Yes, I've heard good things, but I haven't
haven't
actually
seen
seen
it
it myself.
Right.
I plan on seeing it this weekend.
Whoa!
All right, everyone. Good
Bigger,
night.
stronger, faster. A great big thank you to our staff graphic artist, Tabby Walters, the Weekly Cast, and our listeners. You can listen to our podcast on iTunes, the Stitcher app, through YouTube, or directly on our website. Feel free to send us a movie review suggestion. Every third episode is Listener Appreciation, where we choose from your suggestions. You can reach us through social media, either by liking our Facebook page, John Hates Movies YouTube channel, or following our Twitter at John Hates Movies. Our music was composed by Kevin MacLeod. You can find this track and many more on his website, Incompetech.com. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week to hear someone say... Robot versus tree!